Hey, good morning. I just got up. It's maybe a little around 5 a.m. Uh, Northwest Oregon. Still getting perpetrated. It's been going on for 15 years. Drawing some comparisons to what I endured to other TI. Kevin Christian in Atlanta and Georgia has done a lot of disclosure and made a lot of sense to a lot of people. What's different in my situation is that they're really trying to perp light me, which means a targeted individual that's they break us down so much and then try to get us to become perpetrators also and join a group of gang stalkers. And they have been this group of gang stalkers. If there's about 1.5 million TI like me getting tortured, there's probably about 5 million, 5, 6 million gang stalkers, and then EMF perps sanctioned, by fusion centers, DHS, Infraguard, um, private contractors. The guy out of Seattle, that jumped ship out of the Blackwater end of what they were doing there, um, disclosed to the public the 1.5 million Americans getting tortured, um, like myself. So what's different than with me and what's going on with Kevin Christian? They've really tried to do like the false religion angle on me, but it's really synthetic telepathy, torture, Satanism, designed suicides. Um, so that's different than Kevin's experience. Um, they keep arranging like over identity thefts and to discourage me to stop producing material on behalf of TI's interests. They keep doing satanic repeaters and derangements over the phenomena of like stealing my work or my identity, um, in an effort for, I think, overall perp lighting. So it's like me not being cooperative at all and joining a gutter trash, satanic, absolutely, they're all satanic, group of gang stalkers. Um, the next best thing for them would be to like steal my work, call it theirs, and try to mimic me and say, we're Christian or Buddhist, or my last name's Young, we're Mormon or whatever. And then I'm still getting tortured as another TI to them and those kind of people. And they're running around, like maybe extracting worship from, they keep talking about old women. Unfortunately, that's a huge target. Like the ones that I connect with on Facebook, like that are other TI, I'm like, oh, like, reach out, talk to them about shielding, like I have good relationships, a lot with other TI. Um, they're trying to blame me for the perping of other targeted individuals. And then this false religion thing I don't totally understand, but there's some charts or otherwise JPEGs about all of the systems that go into falsifying this attempt at a world religion where just everybody's under mind control. What else? So these people that are like, it's a Hillsborough. If somebody says something about my neighbor, it's a broadcast. It's a group of gang stalkers whose bodies are sunk in other locations. They're like laying in their own feces and urine, and they rape people in the 3D and each other. So if they're lucky, over a course of 10 days of having their body sunken into the location and perping me here, they wake up in their feces, their urine, and some other fluids. And this sleight of hand, satanic misdirection, satanic mimicking of me, that's who's trying to convince like their group of gang stalkers and then communities that they're Jesus, that they're like the God of the Jews. that they're Christian angels. Like there was another consciousness, maybe another person who saw the R&M or whatnot and was just making fun of this gang. Like what's been a little bit hilarious is to see maybe some other EMF gang stalkers or criminal surveillance groups that are aware of their failed attempt at like a world religion, but everybody's under mind control, or the second coming of Jesus Christ, but they're really all electromagnetic form Satanists who don't even believe in life after death. Some of the funnier stuff, at least by appearance, or because psychopaths don't fear like normal things like fight or flight situations. They fear getting humiliated, and maybe I intuitively knew that. Like I've been humiliating these guys day in day out for years now. But yeah, in my situation, they're trying to do a false religion angle. It's failing. I wouldn't join the gang, so they try and steal my identity and repeat my work for the people they have under mind control, presumably. Apparently, old women are unfortunately a lot of the TIs. They're discussing few word obtusely in neurolinguistic programming. And yeah, they're trying to blame me for their perp people and then take a false religion angle. And it's the people from Howard Circle types of human beings that would get involved in this. Like these people are talking shit and using satanic repeaters, suggesters, satanic misdirection, mass enslavement individually of Americans. And they're no different than the perps perping Kevin Christian. Waking up in their own feces and cum after raping old women in 3 dimensions from their EMF broadcast. So long story short, there is no neighbor. It's a criminal, satanic, electromagnetic form group of gang stalkers who are laying in their own shit, passed out on R&M machines, and broadcasting their consciousness into my domicile 24 hours a day. Same thing with the last 15 years. There's been 1,400 of them. And they're not stealing the God of the Mormon. I'm not God. I'm not Mormon. They're not stealing the God of the Christian. I'm not God. And this is all a psychological operation, false, voice of God, or VOG, and then the absence of it. So religion is just one social institution, and shelved plans and anticipated investments in deception and psychological operations, and then eventually getting more people like me, TI, living these lives for torture popsicles. But these people perpetrating me, practicing this Satanism, broadcasting their consciousness here, don't even believe in life after death. But yeah, what's been some of the more funny stuff recently is, at least through some of the hacked electronic equipment, like they may be doing Throne Voice, playing their own controlled opposition, but some of the other consciousnesses coming in here and doing what they can to humiliate these coward broadcasts, and people taking R&M machine catatonic naps and having my consciousness beamed into them. Even within that underworld of torture, Satanism, and whatnot, it brings me some joy to know that within their ranks, and folks that are like in the know or whatnot, know about gang stalking stuff, they're severely getting made fun of and otherwise ridiculed for even trying this shit. So for those that watch Kevin Christian's video, yeah, Howard Circle and the 10-year-old boys raping the 40-year-old, waking up crying because she's got cum down to her kneecap. She somehow thinks she can fool like Redmond, Oregon, Hillsboro, and the world that they're Jesus or something, based on like mimicking me, and I'm not even that. This is all false. But yeah, they're talking shit. I've heard them described it as their Slurpee. Like if you ever sat down on your Slurpee before, I guess when you wake up and you have compacted feces, and urine all over yourself and loads of cum from raping grandmas, it's a little more polite to call that a Slurpee rather than what it really is, like euphemism, Satanism shit. So, yeah. So I pledge allegiance to creation outside the holographic universe that these particularly individuals get and it would be enabled with like a second copy of Earth. They would think they were hiding and whatnot, and you could let them carry out their behavior and then exact what they would deserve after they died. I pledge allegiance to their real Christian hell, which may or may not happen, and I won't be there to verify. And in between now and then, officers of the peace, the National Guard, the National Guard in particular, is going to have to think long and hard about these 1.5 million TI getting perpetrated, all of the perpetrators, and preserving the country. Like in between, these guys really need to be killed. And everybody liked them. They're psychopaths. They don't understand normal risk and reward and really fear getting humiliated. So I guess I may have intuitively picked that up. I've been humiliating them for years. But yeah, my perps are a little different than Kevin's. They're trying the false religion, but it's really Satanism, and then trying to blame me for their perping, and then elaborate attempts at perp lighting, getting me to join this group of demonic cocksuckers who wake up in their own feces and cum after raping old women. And that's who's trying to convince maybe even Hillsborough. Like that, I've seen some other testimony from TI, and it's true to some degree. Like we don't have they can electromagnetic form take over a store. Like I don't have normal interactions with towns and things like that. But I do love you, Hillsborough. I do love you, Oregon. And I've believed the community slander stuff before myself. They're really convincing, these mind control addicts and Satanists. Oh, and let me just reiterate how very much, and this is an understatement, disappointed I am that the University of Oregon has hired even somebody from Elon Musk's team who does math for me. They have hired somebody on a position to work on brain-computer interface. It's like a stalking horse, or like already happened for me 15 years ago. It's one of the single most impactful reasons to end existence entirely. It's cosmically illegal. You do not want a brain-computer interface that makes you want to commit suicide. And the U of O just hired, and he looks like he's just got the shit-eating grin on his face. Maybe I'll post it again on my Facebook. This guy that's supposed to work in like kind of a stalking horse thing, take a paycheck for work that's already been done for Satan. They just hired him on down at my alma mater. It's the single biggest reason to destroy the world itself and everybody in it to save them for my last 15 years. Brain computer interface, you fucking clown face moron. Even some of the other perpetrators here who are pretty despicable people were making fun of this guy. Yeah, so some of my highlights is like some of the other criminal surveillance groups or whatever making fun of these guys. It's been some of my highlights in my last 24 hours.